how I fit determine wetin agent go give me wey no go dupe me, wetin developer go give me wey no go dupe me, vis-a-vis how developer sef e go take calculate im own.
See wetin go get go satisfy am. And I think I painted two scenarios, if you remember. So there is the one that is developmental lease, meaning that nobody is selling. When you develop, you have to rent the property out. The developer is to control the rent for some period, and after which you will hand over the property to the owners of the land. That's developmental lease. Then there is the one that you build, sell. Developer at least can sell the portion of his own and move away. If the owners of the land no wan sell their own, they fit retain am. If the developer sef no wan sell im own, if he just wan dey rent am out, fine, but he go get im particular share of the unit of property, and he will have it in perpetuity also throughout the tenure. When I say perpetuity, I mean the remaining tenure on the title of the land anyway. So we're trying to then, I said it is easy. I explained that it is easy when it comes to the one that you are developing to sell, to calculate what the developer will get, what the landowner will get, because everything at the end of the day is value for value. The value where I bring, na im go determine the kind value where I go get.
Wetin you bring come kitchen,
yes,
na im go determine wetin go serve you.
Exactly. So, but the one that is a bit tricky is the one that is common in brownfield areas, the type of development that is common in brownfield area, which is this developmental lease.
Why do you say it's tricky?
Because even though it's value for value, it's majorly centered on negotiation, especially if it is about the first in the corridor. If it is not about the first in the corridor, there would have been
in law we call that
precedent.
Case precedent.
Yeah, there would have been precedent. There would have been others that can guide the negotiation. But if it was like the first, second, it's still fresh, people will just be arguing based on what they think they want.
Sorry, let me do damage control.
Yeah.
In law, it's called judicial precedent.
Okay.
Make I do that because some of my political science friends really lawyer
said this one the mother law for national television.
That's why I say make I do damage control. It's called judicial precedent.
Okay, yeah. So that's it actually. So in that regard, what happens is, so you see some communities, I don't know if you are familiar at all about, because you mentioned that some people spoke to you around this area.
But
so you see in some places, they will say 25 years, they will say 30 years.
Some 10 years.
Some 10 years?
Yes, 10
really?
Years. In development.
Where?
Say most people now, most landlord now, then say they won't make the thing quick. So the 10 years now, they carry a lot of monuments. Maybe
like what?
Maybe if you help me develop, what we talk, we say, have a flat, you can let Babo Mavi Jung. You understand? Or you give me one flat where I go to live, then one flat where I go to take sustain, then the rest, maybe the remaining 3-story building.
That's the one that actually makes it longer.
Now they talk. So, but some people now, because they want it quicker,
they will say take everything.
They don't go collect any monuments. They go leave and say maybe 10 years, maybe 7 years. But no, the least I've seen is 10 years. The shortest I've seen.
Well, it depends on what they are developing. Because another thing is, there are some supposed development. I don't think that is a pure bring it down and develop. That will be 10 years. I'm not sure where that would exist.
But you are not also putting the factor of the rent in that kind of
area. Wait now. That's what I'm getting to. There is the rent anywhere.
Let's put Okota for instance.
What is the rent in Okota?
I know talk say what is the rent in Okota. I know we cannot liken it to Island.
I understand. I'm asking that.
Or let's say Ajao.
What is the rent?
For instance, 2-bedroom flat for Ajao now. If person minimum say the house na even old house, 2-bedroom flat for Ajao, you will still be talking about, if not 800, 900.
Okay, now you will be shocked if you go to some of the most popular search engines and search for you to buy 2-bedroom flat in Ajao, how much then go put the price? Now compare that to it. I'm sure 2-bedroom flat in Ajao will not be less than 30-something million. That would probably be the least. You understand? Now you are collecting 800 versus 30-something million. How many years you go take finish to collect money on rent?
But I thought what we should be calculating is the amount where I take buy raw material, where I take build. plus interest wey I wan get no be the amount wey dem dey sell property.
Wait now, eventually it mirrors the amount wey dem dey sell versus the amount wey dem dey rent. That's what it mirrors. And that's why I said the one for 7 years, 10 years, a lot of times, they are not that they are the properties that people demolish and start to build. They are properties that you probably renovate.
Okay.
They are renovation. So maybe those properties where we say, now pensioner get them. All of them now 3 bedroom. You understand? Or he even built 7-bedroom duplex for himself. When he dey pension, he can't give out to developer, say find something to do. So they create self-contained for baba downstairs or for mama downstairs. They can't structure the whole property where we say then bring out self-contained like about 6 again out of them. And now those kind one you go see say the tenure go be like 7 years, 10 years, you know. And a lot of times what developers even now do is that 7 years, 10 years, they sell it out immediately. Anybody that is ready to rent supposedly for that long period, so that once they collect the money, you now start dealing with the landlord after that.
Oh, they rent for 7 years straight.
They will tell you they are selling it or it's a lease.
Wow.
Yes, that happens a lot in brownfield areas. That happens a lot, and that's where you see 7 years, you see 10 years. But if it is that they actually brought down a building and erected new ones, I'm not sure anyone will be less than 25 years in Lagos. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. In fact, let me tell you this again. Developmental lease is not attractive to a lot of developers. Wow. The main thing, and that's where we have problem with developmental lease in terms of quality control.
Okay.
Because when you've negotiated the developer to say, when you've negotiated the developer to say it's 25 years,
okay,
you want to give in. You understand? What they do, especially those of them that lack quality, whatever, what they do is that they would not spend more than will still give them good profit on that house. And that's where you see statements like most developers, once they hand over the house to you, the house is about to collapse.
Ben, I'm going to know that.
The guy did not build something qualitative.
Ben.
And unfortunately for you, you could not control the quality. Because everything at the end of the day, like I said, is value for value.
You said they don't even really prefer development. Developers
don't, would rather build, sell, move on. Reason is it gives them better return on their investments, and it also creates room for less, arguments. Developmental lease is more challenging, and it requires patient capital. And a lot of developers don't have patient capital.
They want to move on to another project.
Money that you can put on a project and you'll be waiting to collect it in 25 years.
So
maybe retired developers, that they now probably spread their debt so that the money they are collecting over that whatever is their
sustain them
is their pension. They enjoy life, so they just mellow, just invest all their money inside those developments until enter retirement. Just they collect money, they doing that another 35 years. Because rent, like we say, is a wasting asset.
Is a what?
Wasting asset.
Why do we call it?
The reason is simple now. Once you pay rent for 1 year, as person we don't pay rent now, let's say January 1st, now in rent they due to December 31st. You don't pay rent for this year now, Abi?
Yes.
Today's date now waiting. 17. Now he be say 16 days don't come up for in rent. He don't spend 16 days. In value don't reduce from 365 minus 16.
Minus 17.
Where as today end now, it will be minus 17. Still they enjoy the days first one. Meanwhile, if na him get that house where he don't pay huge amount to buy before, even though they spend time there, the value of the property they go up. But your rent, no value. There's nothing like value they go up. The value stay there. As they spend them, they go. You understand?
No,
Okay, so what I'm saying is that when you buy a property, okay,
because as they even talk, You know, say this life is difficult. Okay,
that's what, because I saw that you were lost. So every we're wasting that time. Because I just realized that. You were lost at the point. You were not looking. You were here, but you were not here. You're right to the
Money will just this is when you talk.
They finish now. Okay, when is your rent?
My rent now, I do November, December.
Okay, November.
You go due November, you go in December. Okay. But more about this everything as of last year.
You don't spend more than you dey clock 2 months now almost. You dey clock 2 months now, I'm telling you. Meanwhile, if now say you buy that property for December where you pay, you don't stay inside am true for this 1.5 months, abi?
Yes.
You feel think say your money they go, abi? But you know they go like that because if they can't value that property now, let's assume say now 2 million you pay for the property. Okay. If they can't value them now, if it be 2,100,000,
sure.
It means say you can sell the property really and get 100 on top of money where you pay.
Sure. So before that December, where my rent go,
it go not even go up again. So that's why we say rent is a wasting asset. That's why you just deplete it as you every waking moment. It reduce, and you can't really get any value other than the usage. The abode. So that's for a lot of developers who don't have patient capital or that much patient capital, they prefer to develop, sell, and move on. Now, so a lot of times when you then say developers should do developmental lease for you, okay, and you are forcing them into some terms, if you are not careful and you are not on top of your game, quality will be lacking in that place.
Because they want to
do it, at the end of the day, they are trying to manage how much they spend.
Resources.
Because what they are going to get is almost so clear in terms of rents.
So why would I want to do a superstructure for you?
Exactly, in that corridor. So they are going to just do something. You know, the sincere truth is that what you build to stay in and what you build to rent out, they are two different.
But in course of that, is there any room for negotiation? Is there any parlor for the discussion between the developer and the owner of the structure that this is the taste I want my house to be? Do we have a parlor for such discussion?
So, you see, the issue, there's a concept of value and cost, or value and price in real estate. When people start talking about taste, you have to realize that taste is relative.
And it comes with money.
And you have to be very, very careful.
Sure.
Because there are people who have built their houses according to their taste. Unfortunately for them, they stayed there 1 year, 2 years, level changed, or things happen, and they have to sell the property. They will now realize that they are not getting as much value for the property. Because the person who wants to buy it does not appreciate your own taste. For him, maybe he even wants to, all those things you call taste, he wants to condemn them and do something of his own. Do you understand?
Because taste is own.
It's not tasty.
As I enter a smart house, you know, can take in
exactly.
Like me now, can you tell Alarogiri? Because now that noise and even like, because it's you understand? I mean, make person you can't go carry.
Or you gonna say if he spoil quick.
I go enter house. You know, because we again coming back. I will make a enter bedroom because you press button. I want to boil water.
You want to boil water?
Then you man look at your bummy water by. Come on, I'm not joking.
Chief, you are still living in
Stone Age.
1902.
You know, they give long life.
No,
you look at our fathers.
You don't give long life.
Can you very well go to boil me palo? Come on, I want to stainless here. Call of it that you can bedroom. Or to call you Zuf. I think you sing you Zuf. You go title away. You go very lovely life. Go let it down. At the back one day, I tell my wife, can you take bakery? Toyo mi gbara mo pariwo ja.
That is actually dangerous.
I want kidney all this body. I like you take talk. If person draw those clip, make come out. You understand?
So it's important to actually have an open discussion with your developer or would-be developer, and also understand things from their standpoint. Let them also understand from your standpoint. Once people are open and they are not attaching, what I see that causes a lot of problem in development negotiation is emotions.
Where does emotion come in?
People just bring sentiments and emotions into negotiations rather than somebody will say, no, is this price I want to sell my house? No. This is the price we want to give the land out. No. This is the number of years we want to take. Oga, for what reason? Can you defend it?
Yes.
They will not be able to.
I like that.
There won't be any logical reason. They just say this is what we want. Some of them, their problem, their demand is based on the size of their problem that they want to solve.
And I'm not responsible for your problem.
No, I'm not responsible. Not based on what is on ground. It's the problem that they have that they want to solve.
To the market.
That they want the property to solve.
Whether
the property is able to solve it or not.
You bring B2 to market.
It's less than
the B2 wine. I mean,
because Ben's problem. Problem is a Ben's problem.
Well, who does that?
I want to solve it with a B2.
B2 composite.
It's not going to work.
And some people, I think some people again, which I have noticed, sir.
Yeah.
People listen to advice from people outside
that are not professionals. They don't know anything. If it comes to them, they will do less. They will advise them against their own.
500 million
and he does not know for sure.
If the director now come border here, exactly. Wàhálà máa wá dé. Ìwọ kan lè kálò. Kò ṣe pé bọ̀dá mi gangan ni. Ọ̀rẹ́ bọ̀dá mi na my friend brother to yẹn that brother. That is people listen to in property, in medicine.
Everything really. Rather than listen to the professional, rather than you can get a second opinion. You understand? I mean, if you want to be sure that this person is not cheating me, you can talk to a second person.
An expert.
Exactly. Talk to get a second opinion and all of that. But you see, you must realize at the end of the day there is value for value. Otherwise, you start seeing all those sharp practices. Unfortunately,
that's the amount you want to stand at.
Yes,
no wahala.
Because some developers don't know how to say no. If I won't do something, I mean, if you are not agreeing to our terms, and we would have to compromise to do something, we'd rather not do it. But some developers won't.
They are hungry now.
They will just say, okay, no problem. No problem. And then you sign, and they do whatever they can do. For you. So you want to avoid that. So you want to avoid that and ensure that the proper thing is done. Okay, that's what I would advise that people should do. So should people look out for developers to help them give some value to their maybe obsolete assets? Why not? I advise that they definitely should look at that. It's actually a way to go for a lot of people, because all of those inherited properties, particularly I'm talking about people who inherited properties, majority are obsolete, and the rent that people are collecting on them is meager compared to the possibilities if we develop that.
Considering the amount whether they sell land for that.
Yes, Nigeria, if we develop to the possibilities that can come out of that property. So why not have patience, look for interview, talk to developers, a number of them that can do developmental lease for you if they can, agree on terms with them. You have to wait for 1 year, 2 years, and then the property will be ready. And for a lot of them, all of that can be put into the negotiation. You know that when a developer comes into your house to do developmental lease, part of the negotiation could be, you know what, for the period that you are going to demolish this thing and you are going to be building it, you will rent so for us.
For you.
You understand? So that when you now complete the property, this particular unit, you will move us back into.
Family.
So you are not suffering anything in terms of where you will stay. What you will suffer maybe, which is part of your own investment, is no. The relocation cost can even be borne by the developer. It's money you collect, the meager monies you collect from other rents, for the period of that 1 year or 2 years that you will not see.
But you are investing it for something bigger.
Yes, and I can tell you that even that, there are negotiations around it. Yes, you can actually say, Oga, you know what? You are going to build this for 2 years. I'll be okay, no problem. So you rent a property for us, right? Then you will give us so amount of money. Okay. That is almost like upkeep.
Okay,
you understand? Yes, and then when you finish developing, you give us this unit to stay in, and then this other unit also for income purpose. You understand? The other units are the ones you are going to manage.
Like one of my
Then the person will now tell you the number of years he needs to manage those ones to get back his investment.
Like one of my guy, they always talk. He say you can negotiate anything, just
Yes.
ask. But the problem where would they get? They say we think say no fee possible.
No, just ask.
So I
Because
can even
everybody can
ask.
say
Help
it's
for me,
no.
love keep developer.
You may not call it upkeep. They call it premium. You know, there are languages
Terms
you call
for
it. Yes.
Well, we have learnt a lot for today's program, and it's been very explosive and highly insightful. Thank you very much, Engineer
You're welcome.
Debo. I believe so you said we did learn one or two things. Till we'll come your way again Tuesday next week. Have a fabulous week. Bye.
Have a fab week.